Hi, I'm Matt Soergel with the Times-Union, and I'm here to talk about one of my favorite movies, 1971's ZAAT, filmed in North Florida in Green Cove Springs mostly, and in Marineland. And it's the wild story of a mad scientist who, to prove, I guess, that he's not mad to all the skeptics, turns himself into a radioactive, giant, walking catfish mutant man. Got all that?
A crazed scientist, Dr. Leopold, is convinced he can turn humans into fish. He proves it by transforming himself into a horrible, revengeful, killer fish.
Don Barton of Jacksonville was making commercials and industrial films, training films, when he decided he wanted to make something that would make money, frankly. So he and some fellow coworkers decided to make a creature feature. So they came upon this crazy story for ZAAT. And he admits that it got a pretty good run in the Southeast, especially in drive-ins, but kind of disappeared and went through a bunch of development hell out in California, and they basically got ripped off. And he put the movie away, never made a cent on it really, put the movie away and never thought he'd be talking about it. But here it is in 2009, and he is talking about it once more.
I'm Don Barton, retired motion picture producer. And 1971, we decided in our little company to produce a feature. And it took us about 9 months to come up with a storyline. The storyline involved actually making a underwater costume that the creature could perform in. And so from that, we created the movie called ZAAT. And ZAAT was released back in 1972.
ZAAT is basically the movie that wouldn't die, though Don Barton thought he'd heard the last of it. Fans of the movie have kept it alive. Back in 2001, a fan named Ed Tucker, who saw the movie when he was 6 years old in Ocala, convinced Don to put it back on the big screen, so it showed to several screenings in Jacksonville, sold-out screenings. And then an artist in Atlanta, R. Land, who grew up in Jacksonville, is a huge fan. He's seen the movie probably hundreds of times, and he showed it to a bunch of hipsters up in Atlanta this year, and they loved it. And now the movie is back at the Five Points Theater as part of their Horrorfest, which is continuing all this week, and ZAAT will play Wednesday before what will no doubt be a big house at the Five Points Wednesday night. Now, admittedly, ZAAT has perhaps not aged all that well. Some nasty movie fans at imdb.com, the big movie website, have rated it the 7th worst movie of all time. Don used to take offense to that kind of stuff, but he's kind of gotten used to it, and he admits there are some things he'd go back and do again differently if he could. But you know what? Ed Tucker, the big fan of the movie, told me this is a monster movie that gives you plenty of monster. There's plenty of monster time, and Wade Popwell, who died just a few years ago, was a 6'5" guy, and he did, I'm telling you, yeoman's work inside this big monster suit that they created with this head. Don still has this in his garage, this really good-looking, scary suit, and I'm telling you, I put the monster head on, for just 10, 15 seconds, and it made me respect what Wade Popwell did even more. That thing is heavy and claustrophobic, and to think that he was swimming in Florida Springs in that thing is, frankly, pretty amazing. But that's what you get with ZAAT. I have a review of ZAAT in Friday's Jack section in the Times-Union and on Jacksonville.com. And on Sunday, I will have a look for a longer feature about how the movie got made and why it lives on today in Sunday's Life section and on Jacksonville.com. Thank you.